Welcome back, everybody, to the third and final key to staying burn-proof in journalism with my man, Tyler Rigg. And if you did not check out the first two videos, shame. For shame. Go back, watch them when you're done with this. But we're not really going to shame you. You can watch this video shame-free. So I am looking forward to this final tip. I've learned a ton, and it's helped open my eyes to just how... when I think journalism, and even when I was taking journalism courses in college and everything, it was just like, well, it's just me and words. It's just me and my sentences and comma splices and whatever. So, but you're helping us understand that it's a lot to do with, you have to have people skills. You have to overcome you're an introvert, and you had to overcome that to do what you do and build the relationships. There's a lot of people skills involved in what a lot of people might think is just a behind the scenes role.
Right.
When you're on the front lines working your beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm learning a lot. So this is exciting. I'm living through you, putting my writing minor and my English communications majors to work. So, so thank you. So
glad I could help.
So take it away, man. What is the third and final piece?
The third and final piece is stay organized. So this obviously is not relegated to just journalism.
Okay.
But
Yeah, I could use some.
yeah, everybody can be more organized.
Yeah.
But the thing about being a reporter, from what I experience, is that you're kind of your own entity.
Okay.
And no one's going to babysit you. Your editors are there to make sure that the stories are correct and get into the paper and that everything's straightened up. But it's, other than that, it's up to you to be able to
make it happen.
gather information, get your facts straight, things like that. So, obviously that means, setting up interviews with sources, gathering information, holding the information, making it into a cohesive story. So kind of all those moving parts, coming together to create a story, something that could be kind of overwhelming if you don't have, a process in place.
Yes. Okay. So can you walk us through kind of what your process is to stay organized, or because I'm having horrible flashbacks to, I'm writing a 20-page essay, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? Or so just that sitting down to write, and also having to do the research, having to fact check. And then too, there were certain things I was writing where I had to interview people, and that's more of like a lot of what you do is you're interviewing people. So it's not like you just sit down and write something. It's like there's so much more that has to come before, during, that article. So, is there any tools, any like systems that you use in your process that, from day one of doing this to now, you're like, I always use this, or even certain things that you've tried to like just don't even, there's this app, it will actually make things worse, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything would be helpful. So.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, there's no, set process for everybody. But what works for me is, for one, I like to organize my emails. People communicate by email all the time. It's just something we have to do.
Yep.
And I do get a lot of information from email, especially things that are, less quotey and more factual.
Gotcha. Less quotey.
Like numbers.
I'll text you the quotey stuff.
Yeah.
So.
yeah, you can text that or leave a quick voicemail.
Okay.
That works too. I have done that.
Hey man, I got
before,
something quotey for you. All right. Cool.
Great.
All right. Sorry, I just
Sounds
derailed.
good.
I'm not staying organized. I'm sorry. My bad.
No, it's good. So for me, I like to organize my emails by priority.
Yep.
What I need to do this week, or what story is actually timely this week or today, or maybe something that is feature worthy that can be done within the month or within a couple months or something like that.
So you have like today, this week, and this month.
Exactly. As far as like gathering facts, I like to keep everything together. So a lot of the stuff I actually get is through email.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get a press release through email or something like that, I'm making sure I know where it is, or maybe even copying over information to our CMS software that we use, for publishing.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously that won't go to print, but keeping all the info in one place is good.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I obviously a lot of journalists do is I rely heavily on audio and actually talking and interviewing.
Okay.
So making sure I have that and know exactly where it is. I do have my own recorder, so I'll type out what the date is, where I can find the file in my story, so that I can immediately go back to that.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then pop my headphones in and start transcribing.
Okay.
And a lot of that's obviously getting pretty much all of the info out of the interview, and having that available. So a lot of what journalism is to me is getting the facts together, and then it's kind of a mess to begin with, and then you break it down.
Oh, it's all over the place, and you gotta
making it cohesive, making it readable,
and
cutting out the fluff essentially.
Yep.
Don't cut out the important information.
Yeah.
Just the fluff.
Okay. Just the fluff. All right. So have you tried can that recorder do the voice to text for you? I know I try to voice to text notes after a meeting, or voice to text just if I have a long text that I need to send, or a long email, and it's never, I mumble, I'm not the most clear communicator on the planet.
Yeah.
I guess, is there certain tools out there that you try to use, even is there any way for that recorder to transcribe for you? Or?
Personally, I haven't actually used that.
Okay.
I have to ask coworkers actually to see if they do. I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know for some people it would probably be really helpful.
Okay.
In a lot of situations, there's some audio I get where it's it's too quiet or too mumbled, or there's rustling papers or something gets in the way. So there might be a barrier, but.
That was the key factoid, and all I hear is rustling papers. So
right.
So, but so in a perfect world, you're always recording the audio for the interview, but are you also kind of just taking notes along with that? Because I know for me, I was just an avid note taker when I was running meetings, and but what would happen is I would miss. I would get a lot on paper, but I would miss things as I'm writing. My brain shuts off.
Right.
And then I'm back, and I write it down in my brain. So what's weird is I still jot notes in meetings, but I'm not. I used to be obsessed with being the world's best note taker and not missing anything, and then I realized I was missing things. So how do you balance that? Obviously, the audio helps, but are there certain things where you're hey, how do you handle the jotting down notes and the conversation all at the same time?
I would say make the distinction between quotes and, I guess, everything else.
Everything, okay.
So use the audio for quotes. That's what you want, just to get to get the quotes.
Gotcha.
But obviously everything else comes along if you're recording.
Yeah.
But with the note taking, it's about finding the facts, the important things that stand out.
Okay, so dissecting the whole conversation.
Right,
exactly. Perfect.
Whether you're writing down numbers that are important, or maybe someone mentions, a name or an organization or an event or something like that.
Yeah.
Making sure you have those key, it's just like taking bullet points.
Got it.
And then, personally, the quotes are kind of just a filler.
Got it.
Not the filler, but they kind of fit in between.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha. I like it. Cool. All right. So I'm learning here. Anything else you do to stay organized?
Keep your sources close.
Okay.
Make sure you have that point of contact always, so you're not searching for wasting time,
Okay.
hours, minutes looking
Yeah.
for a source that you already know, but don't have the contact info for.
Mhm.
So keep that close. Keep emails on hand.
Yeah.
Keep cell phone numbers on hand.
Yep.
Because you never know when like a story could be really timely.
Yeah.
For instance, so go to a city council meeting or something like that,
Mhm.
and hear about a project or an event, something going on in the city that's brand new, and maybe that's something I want to turn around the next day. Maybe I can't turn around it that night, but the next day, I'll need to have those sources on hand
Mhm.
to get that together and to be able to write out something that's timely.
Yeah. Do you kind of have like groups of sources? So, like for example, like that city count, like hey, I got these 3 people. I'll ask them the same question, and then hopefully one of them will get back to me. Or like is it sometimes it's just you get everybody responds, or you just get a couple people? Like how do you manage? You just you're managing what you can't control, which is that person gonna see that message? I know, like for me, with some of the stuff that I got back to you, I felt bad. Like I hadn't like seen it for a day, or what I mean, like just I don't know how time. What I mean, like for me, again I'm having flashbacks to when I used to. I was actually one of the editors on our college newspaper and all, and it'd just be like, our chief editor would be like, hey James, so and so just didn't write the article about X. Could you do that for him? You know what I mean? So just I live that life of like, okay, this has to be like in like somehow this has to be in by tomorrow morning, or
Right.
or the newspaper is screwed. So but so I guess that would be, I'd be very interested, is just kind of like managing what you can't technically control. Like what pieces that you can control do you use to try and make sure that a timely matter is done the right way?
Yeah. Well, like I said before, being persistent is definitely helpful.
Professionally persistent.
Yeah.
So not annoying
also,
like me.
Yeah. But also being flexible, because you always have that source, that point of contact within whatever their wheelhouse is, on the story you're writing. But obviously they're not the only one. So maybe having that someone else that works with an organization or a department or something like that you can always reach out to is very helpful.
Okay.
So having them on hand, and then as a plan B, in case you're persistent and things don't get through because people are busy. This just it comes with the territory.
Well, that's where I feel bad, because that like kind of all my buddies are just like, oh yeah, here's James 24 hours later getting back to me. But it's just like I'm not trying to avoid conversation or people or text, emails, phone calls type stuff. But it's just there's certain days where you're just in meetings all day. Even for you, like you're at events that are at late at night, and I'm sure. So here's another question.
Sure.
Are you up all night writing articles that depending on how timely things are, like you have to be able to be up super early or super late? So how do you manage your time? How do you stay organized on time? Like, what is Tyler's time, and then what is not Tyler's time?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Tyler's time is 40 hours a week, because that's what we stick to.
Okay.
But obviously, like you said, that's very flexible, because we've got to go to night events, sometimes early morning events, things like that. Sometimes I work a split shift where I have 4 hours in the middle of the day, and I'm not doing anything, and then I'll come back at night, go to an event, and then write that before 10 p.m. and I'm late at the office. But we'll work with that 40 hours. So just keeping up with that timesheet and
making sure you're on track.
Making sure you're on track. Entering your time as soon as you can, so that you're not getting behind or forgetting the hours that you worked. So
I swear I worked last week. I swear.
Right.
I was working so hard, so many hours, that I just forgot to check in. So
yeah.
Well, I just feel like man. so like staying organized with sources, staying organized with your your facts, your messages, your articles. Is there any like do you just use like for me like I have like Calendly that helps me like I'll send so someone wants to schedule a meeting, I'll just send the link to the calendar. It will lock in. It sends them reminders. So just kind of like that helps me not be like, oh crap, I never reminded so and so about our meeting that we set a month ago, kind of thing. Is there certain calendar systems that helps you kind of compartmentalize your time as well?
I'm old-fashioned, so
Okay,
I like to
all
use
right.
a pen and paper calendar.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just easy. I don't know. It's easier for me to write it down because
Yep.
when I write it down, then I usually don't
Yep.
forget.
Yep.
And I'm always checking it. So
Gotcha.
other than that, I will use Google Calendar.
Okay.
Because that gives notifications on my phone.
Yep.
Sometimes that's a great backup. So
Cool. And actually, I have a daily agenda. So I have like Monday through Friday, like block times, like what I should be doing at that time. But like each day before I'm done, I'll write out like, okay, like this, like last night I was writing out, meeting Tyler for the video this morning. So like I have my Google Calendar, but yeah, I have kind of like you. It's not your traditional paper calendar, like full calendar. But it's it helps me. Yeah, when I write it down and I'm looking at it, it's really hard to miss what I'm supposed to be doing usually.
Right.
So yeah, I'm a little old-fashioned. My man. All right, I'm a little old-fashioned too.
Yeah.
I write things down. But no, so you can't. So you don't have to be all digital to manage your time and everything, but that digital calendar helps you kind of back up different things as well.
yeah.
Okay.
Obviously, that's just me. So
Okay.
that's just the way I like to do it. But
Yeah.
I do break down my day by hour.
Okay.
Similar to what you said.
Yeah.
Or what you do.
Yeah.
I'll break it down by hour and even to the minute sometimes, depending on what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
And I'll write down everything I have to do that day, all the stories I need to do, people I need to call. For me, that's just the best way to stay organized and make sure that I have everything, or I'm doing everything that I need to do and take care of. Because it's easy to get sidetracked with reporting because there's always a new story. So
Anytime I would sit down to write anything in college, that's when magically I would have all these other great ideas that I had, all these other great things that I wanted to do, which is when I sat down to write. So yeah, that's awesome. So it's kind of like how like an attorney or CPA will like bill you. Like I know what helped me as well as one of our tax guys here. His brother gave it's just literally a spreadsheet of he like tracks every 15 minutes like what he's doing so he can bill clients and stuff like that. So is that kind of how you see it too? Like these are my, you're not billing the sources or billing the people that you're interviewing, but it's just kind of like that's your billable hour, billable minute,
right.
With what you got to do.
Yeah. In fact, I'll usually allot myself about 15 minutes if I'm gonna call a source to get information, because that's usually as long as it takes is like 15 minutes to make the call and get info. Sometimes they don't always return the call, so then you have to readjust.
Yeah.
But and also allotting time to write is really important, I think, because you got to sit down and be able to focus.
Yep.
And actually get things done.
Yep.
And when it comes down to it, usually that's at the end of the day. You got all your info. And
gotcha. So you kind of save that for
down.
Yeah, okay.
Right, and kind of allot that time and say, this is my writing time, and this is where I'm gonna, write the story, get everything together, and actually focus on, making it a good story.
Gotcha. So during writing time, I love that. So again, that helps me like kind of picture a day in the life, like of how would I need to structure my day. So like, end of the day gives me the time, and beginning of the day, say, okay, I needed to call these sources. I gotta cross-check these facts. I gotta listen to this audio. I gotta get through the shuffling of paper in my audio. Try to figure that out. But so that's awesome. So when you're going to writing mode, do you like just completely shut off your phone? Like, do you have even for me, I would like lock myself in this little room in the library in college, and that was like, okay, now I'm here to focus. Like I literally had to like close myself off from the world. So what's like your process to do that?
I probably should shut off my phone.
Okay, all right.
But I don't. Yeah, just, I mean, sometimes you get calls.
You never know when a source could call you back, or you could get that email you've been waiting on.
Right, so you look at your phone, you see the number, and you say, oh shoot, well, I should take this, because, you know, you never know when you'll get the chance to call again, But what I do is, you know, focus on all the info I have, make sure, you know, that I have, you know, different tabs and windows open for, you know, the sources I'm pulling from, whether it's, you know, an email or a press release or something, and just having the info in front of me and our CMS software, you know, where I'm actually writing the story, and that's it. And you know, just staying focused on that and bringing the story together. You know, not going and checking emails or
what's this?
looking through Exactly.
Pop up. Anything is cool when you're trying to sit down to write. You know, just like anything that would not be cool becomes cool when you're trying to write something. And you're just like,
right.
Everything else seems so much fun right now. But no, all right, cool. Well, thank you, man. This is awesome. And then the last thing I want to ask you about too is just I feel like, a lot of times too, there's certain things you're like I have to get this done today, and then it doesn't get done. You just cross it off your list for today and add it tomorrow where you need it? Like, how does that work?
Yeah. Well, we have a budget, so our editors will, you know, when the story has to run or when the story can run. So sometimes it gets pushed off or pushed to a different day, I mean.
Got it.
And in that case, you know, it would be okay to say, you know, I can write this tomorrow. I might have all the facts today, but I can write this tomorrow.
Okay.
As opposed to something that's breaking news where it's, you know, a fire happened or there was a bad accident or something like that.
Yeah.
Then it would be, I mean, the editors, they have news judgment, so they know when a story should run.
Okay.
So they know, you know, that this has to run today, so I'm going to get this in today.
Got it.
And, you know, once that's done, you know, it goes out to the world and cross that off your list.
Okay.
It's all about maintaining priorities, essentially.
And then too, like, so talking about like even like when you're writing, like you get a call, or even the editor might say, hey, okay, so you're in the zone. This is my writing time, and then the editor says, Tyler, this just happened. I need this now. Like, does that happen too, where it's just like breaking news just happened? You're just like, okay, I guess. So
Absolutely.
you mentioned before, stay organized but flexible, is because in an instant, especially in what you do, everything can change.
Yeah.
Priorities can just change quickly.
And as the youngest reporter in the newsroom, it often falls on me to get general assignments.
Okay.
Just comes with the territory.
Just climb the ladder, bro.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Exactly. So it could happen where they say, can you do this tonight or can you do this tomorrow night?
Yeah.
You know, it might not even be something that's breaking news necessarily. It could be just some event that, you know, we just heard of now.
Yeah.
That would be awesome to cover.
Yeah.
So that, you know, they say, well, go out and do this. So, and obviously, like I said, we stick to our 40 hours a week usually. So you got to be flexible. You know, maybe work 9-10 hours one day, just to cover an event, and then, you know, be able to manage that time later, and you know, still get all your stories in. So
12 hours of work to do in 3 hours.
Right.
Better write fast, you know. So, well, cool. No, that's yeah, man. 'Cause I know that's kind of. There'll be days, and I'm interested to get your feedback on this too. There's days where I'm like, I got that very thorough. Went through like I'm gonna do this at this time, that at that time, and then at the end of the day, it's like, man, I got like these 12 calls, emails, whatever, where I wasn't planning, but it had. So it was like kind of in my world, like my breaking news that I had to like jump on right away. And you get to the end of the day, it's like, man, I got a ton done, but I didn't get done what I actually had set out to do. So there, you know, is there days like that? It's just kind of something where you just like, hey, you just have to learn to not accept defeat, but accept it's gonna happen, and when it does happen, you just you adjust course and go from there. Like don't Am I just beating myself up too much?
Yeah,
Like,
no, that makes
I
sense.
demand the perfect day, yet I have yet to have it. So
Right. You can plan as much as you want, but
All
you know,
right.
life happens.
All
So.
right, life happens. Okay, cool.
But yeah, absolutely.
All right, perfect, awesome. Well, dude, this is awesome. I've learned so much. I'm very excited, like I said, and I'm always moving forward, living through you, living the dream, my journalism dream that it was mine at a time. Just wasn't. I'm just not wasn't cut out for it, man.
Yeah.
So I got a lot of respect for what you do and just what it takes to do it. So, awesome. Anything else to add, brother?
Yeah. Well, I'd just say I'm still learning every day, and
Okay.
all of these, you know, are things that I'm still. I have figured out my own process and
Yep.
what works, and obviously there are things that I'm still in the process of doing. That's just the nature of the job, essentially,
Yep.
is that it can change on a dime, and you do new things every day, and so yeah, staying organized, finding what works for you, and keeping, sticking to that process is definitely something that will be helpful even as things change. So
I love it. I love it, man. Very excited. So, well, thank you everybody for joining us for our third and final key to staying burn proof in journalism with my man Tyler Rigg here. And until next time,
stay burn proof.
oh yeah, my man.